Hello there, the Melon Man here, John DePass, uh, commenting tonight from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. And this is my first involvement with the World Pranic Festival. And I'm sorry that it's not happening in Italy this year. I was very excited to come to Europe for the very first time coming to Italy. And I'm disappointed that that's not happening, but very excited to be involved with the festival at any rate here in this way, in a digital way this year. Looking forward to coming in attendance next year. Answering the guidelines questions that were outlined as potential guidelines for this talk today. I'm just going to follow through with the questions that were asked, and I think that's a great way for me to get started. The first question: what is the difference between fasting and pranic nourishment, in my opinion? The difference between fasting and pranic nourishment. Fasting is an aspect of nourishing your body in a pranic way. Fasting has to happen in order for the body to become prepared to receive the pranic nourishment. All bodies engage with the prana. All bodies gather energy from the prana. Some bodies gather more than others. And some people are more sensitive and aware to the prana than others. However, all bodies have access to the prana. All bodies are in contact with the prana all the time. The prana is a very subtle, gentle, quiet, whisper type of force or energy. It's infinite, yet gentle. And while in the throes of our addictions, we'll never notice it. Whether our addictions are substances, people, materials, or foods, our psychological interaction or engagement with whatever it is that we're engaging with externally, substance, person, food, something external, whatever we're engaged with tends to take our attention. And the force of prana, as boundless and infinite as it is so quiet that you would never notice it in a busy mind. As soon as we eat food, we're in the throes of the food. Our body is responding physiologically to the food. Glucose stimulates the pancreas to create insulin. Protein stimulates the stomach to create hydrochloric acid. Foods, substances adjust the internal physiology. The brain is just one of our structures. It's the physical structure in which is the house or the home of the mind. So the home of the intellect, the physical home of the intellect, is affected by what's happening within the body, the human physiology. The brain neurotransmitters are affected by the activities that are going on with the body and mind. To become still of mind, we must become first still of body. As above, so below. Creating stillness in body will allow and enable a deeper stillness of mind. We have to come to peace within the body to hear the gentle, subtle whisper of prana. In the fast, we prepare the body. We prepare the body physically, and we prepare the body mentally. The mind is a physical aspect of the being. Mind and body are physical things. The emotional body, the feline body, the feminine self, the emotional self. This is the feelings. This is where we will feel the prana. You'll feel a gentle, subtle nudge of the prana energy. You've got to seek it. You've got to look for it. You've got to intend it toward it. You've got to fast. You've got to prepare your body to create stillness inside the belly and stillness inside of the mind. There must be an intention. We've got to strive towards it. We've got to find the prana. We've got to seek it to find it. There must be an intention. There must be preparation. The body must be purified. Low frequency bits must be lifted. Low frequency shadow energies, shadow emotions, trauma, injury, physical injury in the body. These things have to be healed, prepared, fixed. Fecal waste has to be removed from the body. Yeast, candida, parasites must be removed from the body. Low frequency thoughts, feelings, emotions, habits, behaviors, substances, chemicals, mucus, pus, inflammation, inorganic materials, all must be removed from the body. That's a purification process. That's a detoxification process. Fasting is an aspect of the detoxification process, the preparation process that allows us to become more sensitive and more self-aware. And then we are able to allow the prana to flow through us more freely. We're more able to identify with the prana. And then as we become more aware of the prana, we can focus on the prana, and what we focus on grows. So then we can grow the prana and our relationship with the prana in our lives. Fasting is an aspect of preparation for the breatharian lifestyle, for the pranic lifestyle. It's the opening practice, the beginning practice, to be pushing away the food. But what we push pushes back. And so ultimately, we can't step into the pranic lifestyle completely until we stop pushing away the food. We may fast and prepare our bodies this way. Our bodies and minds get prepared this way by pushing away. It's a practice. Until we identify with the subtle force of prana. Once we know about the force, then it's no longer about pushing away the food. It becomes about building the internal energy. Question 2. Which is the definition you would give to your being of light? Which is the definition you would give to your being of light? The definition I would give to myself. If I had to define myself, I am an awakening being. I am a being that's in transition. I'm a being that is intentionally striving for more. I'm a being that is expanding. I'm a boundless being. I have no authority. I am sovereign. I am free. I am free will. I am choice. I am love. I am joy. I am health. I am abundance. I am the one energy that all things here arise from. I am the one and the same thing that is in you. I am man and woman. I am masculine and feminine. I am human. There is but one human energy. Prana, chi, love, life force, best health, greatest self, greatest being, highest frequency, greatest expression, your greatest light. I am striving toward the presentation of my greatest light. I am in transition. I am bringing out, I am expressing my greatest light. I am a being of light. I am a love being. I am a part of the human beingness, singularity, oneness, no separation any longer. We're coming together. We're coming together. We're finding the common thread. We are a piece of the all. Consciousness. Consciousness is always present. The power, the force, the life force that we are is always here and now. You can always access the light force of your being, of our being in the present, in the now. Ooh. What is my opinion about COVID-19? Wonderful. Thank you for the question. COVID-19 is a planetary upgrade. It is a frequency, energetic upgrade of three-dimensional reality. Earth is going up. Frequency is rising. The World Wide Web has now opened up international communication. Information is available to all. Many are awakening to their potential powers and abilities. Many are starting to realize their infinite abilities. Many are stepping into their best. And as more beings awaken and step into their best. The collective energy of the three-dimensional reality is going up. The frequency, the vibration of Earth is going up. As the frequency rises, the low frequency bits fall off. This is nature. This is natural. There's an upgrade going on our planet. We're moving from 3D to 5D. Both will exist here. Some people will remain, will choose to remain within 3D reality, bound by all of the lacks and limitations that they hold within their three-dimensional minds. Many will awaken to the message that they can, if they choose to, step into lifestyle design, where they can choose to manifest and create freely. Some will choose to step into 5D. The majority right now are still in 3D. 3D is very physical. It's very black or white. It's very right or wrong. It is not wrong. It is a choice. We can stay within our 3D paradigm, or we can choose to step up to 5D. 5D is an all-loving universe. It is not managed by fear. Humans that choose to rise above a life of fear can choose to step beyond COVID-19. COVID-19 is the 3D expression of fear and darkness that is leaving our earth or separating itself so that people can choose to engage in that reality and stay in that reality, or choose to move forward into a new expression of humanity, a higher, greater expression where every soul is free to choose. As more and more beings rise in frequency, focus on the love within themselves, connect to the field will continue to expand and grow, and the frequency of the 3D will slowly dissolve. That is, I believe, a part of our past. Health is the nature of the being. Health is not determined by something external unless the being allows the external idea to be internalized and accepted as their truth. If the being takes on the idea that there is a killer virus, then for that being, there is a killer virus. That is their reality. And for that reason, we have to respect everybody for where they choose to be. We live in a multi-dimensional universe where every human being is free to create and manifest the life of their dreams. Every human is right now, manifesting consciously or unconsciously, or to a higher degree of consciousness, or to a lesser degree of consciousness. Everyone is free to choose. As we raise in frequency, feelings will go up. Low frequency energies will be transmuted into higher frequency energies. As you go up in frequency, you will feel more joy, happiness, peace, freedom. All aspects of the higher self, all aspects of the spirit being, the highest expression of humanness, the true self, the essence, the passion, the light, the original loving force expressing itself from the back of the cosmos. What advice would you give to people who are starting with pranic nourishment? Starting with pranic nourishment. I would encourage all to begin a quest toward the pranic nourishment lifestyle. My startup recommendations are to begin with detoxification, preparation, mental preparation, physical preparation. Mental and physical preparations are both masculine preparations. Thought, decision, physical action. These are all physical actions. Preparation for the human being must be physical, mental, and emotional. Basically, physical and mental preparations are physical. The mental, the brain, the mind is physical. The brain is physical. Thoughts and words and actions, daily thoughts and words and actions are physical preparations, masculine preparations. These are making a choice to step into that lifestyle, to walk towards it, to step towards it, to seek it, to seek the lifestyle. You can't find anything unless you go for it. You have to go towards it. So there has to be a conscious intent to go toward it if you'd like to find it. Seek and you shall find is the promise, right? So you've got to seek it. You've got to take mental and physical actions daily, striving towards it. Physical actions include movement, some sort of physical movement. I suggest exercise, yoga, walking, jogging, meditations. There has to be some sort of meditation. I would suggest a sitting meditation, a sitting practice, a lying practice before bed as we arise in the morning to begin your day and to end your day, coming into the energetic space, your greatest energy. I would suggest daily that we should be building the prana. So focusing on it upon rising and before bed, focusing on the energy, focusing on the energy of ourselves, focusing on our inner energies. What we focus on grows. So we want to learn to identify with it. In the beginning, we may not have any understanding of prana. Most likely not in the beginning. And so we have to develop that sensitivity to it. And that's the fasting. I suggest physically fasting of food every day, 14 to 16 hours a day of emptiness. I would suggest daily 14 to 16 hours of emptiness daily. I would suggest that we're once a week trying to extend your emptiness, stretch yourself. That which you practice, you will become better at. Practice it daily. Practice physical actions, thought, word, and physical actions daily. Food actions, physical. Exercise actions, physical. Thought actions, affirmations, decisions, choice, visualization, picturing in your mind's eye, in your third eye, bringing your energy up and expressing your energy, your prana, your chi, your life force energy is your deepest passion, your love energy. It starts down in your root, focusing on the energy of your root, connecting to it there and intending it up, lifting, intentionally lifting the energy up, focusing on the energy, finding the energy, meeting with the energy, having a relationship with the energy, being your own best friend, speaking to the energy, inviting the energy up, speaking to your inner child, speaking to your shadow, asking it up, inviting it up, spending time in stillness and quiet, resting, being with it, first thing in the morning and the end of the day, focusing on it daily, practicing stillness, practicing meditation daily, practicing meditation, fasting daily, refeeding with the most energetic foods, raw juices, fruits, vegetables, live foods contain life, contain enzymes, contain current, electromagnetic energy, current, electricity, light, photons, energy of our sun found in the first foods. The first foods are the fruits and the vegetables. Eat the first foods most often as you can. Eat the first foods. Fast daily. Eat the first foods. Practice movement, exercise, walking, jogging, hiking, being in nature, being in the sunlight, getting your feet on the ground, connecting to our Earth Mother, connecting to our Father Sun, getting the energy, being in the energy, being around other like-minded in the community, supporting others, loving others, engaging with others that are striving in the same way, building a community, making yourself accountable, intentions, taking grander intentions, taking a bigger intention with your world. How do you want to give back? What's your message? What do you want to leave here on the planet? What's your reason why? What do you love? What do you live for? What do you stand for? What would you die for? Are you afraid of death? Asking yourself the bigger questions. Who do you want to be? What do you want to do here? What is your purpose? What are you creating? Asking yourself the bigger questions. This is the way. It is the way less traveled. It is the road less traveled. It is not the easiest way to walk, perhaps, but it is the most noble way to walk. Walk lightly and enjoy the journey. Please tell us about a pleasant experience that you lived. A pleasant experience that I lived. I've been a coach. I've been a coach for 30 years. It has been a wonderful walk. It has been an incredible journey, because coaching, I think, is very much like parenting. I've been a parent for 17 years. I've been a husband, and I don't see any difference any longer. Coaching, parenting, husbanding, humaning, I think it's all the same now. Building a business, being an entrepreneur, I think it's all the same now. I think it is the human experience. I think it's a lovely experience. It has highs and lows, and I think they're both lovely. I think it's only a misperception when we see then feel the darkness, when we feel the shadow. It is a part of the light. Even the shadow needs the light. You can't have a shadow without the light. The shadow is the light. Sometimes we have to sit in the shadow, but if we sit there long enough, the sun comes overhead and the shadow passes. Even the shadow has so much to teach us. In fact, the shadow has so much more to teach us. It's in the shadow that we learn the most. But we stay in the shadow until we learn the lesson that's hidden in the shadow for us. Until then, we are a prisoner of the shadow. The low frequency has its hold on us until we learn how to love it. How could I love it? How could I love that? Makes no sense. How could I love that? That's it. You have to use your imagination. Imagination is our creative force. Imagination is our magic. Imagination is our femininity, our feelings. Imagine love. Imagine loving a circumstance in your life that you do not yet love. It starts with your imagination. It starts with a thought in your mind, a decision, a choice to pursue love for something that you do not yet love. You'd have to think about it in a different way than you are now in order to love it. When you can think about it in a different way and you can imagine loving it, you can imagine love into it, it can be risen in frequency and vibration by your love. You heal it, you change it with your love. You can raise up your frequency. You can change your vibration. You can pick up your health. You can pick up your joy, your happiness, your love. You can step into your love. You can learn to love all of your life. This is the full expression. This is the highest frequency of the human being. Ultimate health, complete joy, full pranic expression, no more need for food or water, only choice. You can choose to engage in it if you like, with others, socially, if you like, or not. It's a choice. Nobody has to. Everybody is free to choose love or fear. It is a choice. We are at a point in our humanity that many are choosing the light and the love over fear. Anybody is free to choose. An unpleasant experience. I've had many unpleasant experiences. A loss of a mother. I lost my mother when I was 19. I held her hand and she wanted to tell me to let go of her. And at the time, I couldn't understand why she was telling me to let go of her. And I took it offensively and I was angry. I was 19 before my 19th birthday. I was angry, and for 30 years, almost, yeah, I carried the anger inside of me and it fueled my life and it fueled a lot of chaos in my life until I learned that I had to love it. I had to embrace it. I had to embrace the memory. I had to understand it. I had to sit with it again with a different perspective. The shadow held me. The low frequency held me until I came to another point in my life that I was able to come back and sit with it, be in it, speak to it, address it again with a new set of eyes. Nobody can tell anybody when it's time to let go of a trauma. A loss of love, a loss of money, job, a loss of health, a loss of wealth, a loss of love. We've all had them. You know, if you're over 40, I'm coming up on 50. If you're over 40, you've had your own story. Every one of us has a story. A loss, a divorce, a bankruptcy. You know, loss is a part of life and it's our greatest teacher. Pain is our greatest teacher. From the beginning, we touch the stove, we pull our hands away. We learn right away. Pain is our signal, right? We pull away. We perceive it as punishment. We perceive it. We avoid it. We always seek toward comfort. We always move toward comfort. It is the human condition, which makes us extremely predictable. And this is why we were able to be led with comforts and comforts and comforts and comforts and comforts. And it's now the problem is that we're addicted to all of the comfort, to all of the foods, the processed foods, the sugars, the heavy foods, the fats, the proteins, the animal source proteins especially, the acids, the salts. We're addicted to them. And many of us are addicted to them. I don't want to say all of us are. Many of us are. Most of us. But it's in the fast where we push away from the food, that we now have the stillness and the quiet within the body, that we can sit with the emotions that need to be lifted up. The shadow. The shadow is nothing more than a misperception of the light. We have to sit with it until we can find the light in it. In the instant when it happens, the bomb drops. Sometimes we can't see the light. It could take years for heavy traumatic experiences in our life before we sit and we recognize, oh my gosh, I get it now. It's unfortunate. We bury traumatic events. We don't want to deal with them. We put them away, and things don't get fixed that way. I am working on shadows in my life. I'm correcting shadows in my life. I am raising the frequency of the shadow, the low frequency energy in my life. This is the pranic journey. It is a rising up of the being, a stepping into your best, a coming back to your best, a coming to your health. You have to seek it, strive towards it. It's your highest frequency. It's your best expression. The sad events in our lives are the pieces of our life that we have to meet with, be with, and heal. This is the pranic journey. This is a massive aspect of the pranic journey, is healing the shadow energy. Which is your relationship with life and death? There is but one energy here. There is one life force energy. This is life. It is the same life force energy that connects all of us. The same life force energy that is in the tree, the blade of grass, any animal, and in humanity. It's the same string that connects every single cell in our bodies and goes through and connects to every single living being in creation. It's the life force. We are a part of that life force, physically, mentally, emotionally. We are a part of it. When we die, our physical bodies return to it. Our spirit energy continues on. It's a part of the whole. All of this is one thing, oneness, one energy, one life force. We are always a part of it. Death would be nothing more than a transition from one aspect of this to another. No different, really, than sleeping and waking, than being born, than the caterpillar to the butterfly. It cannot be anything other than this. It is the only thing that makes sense for me. What can I say about suffering? Suffering is a choice. We can unchoose it. Suffering is a learned behavior. We must unlearn suffering. We have all learned to suffer. Our earth school has taught us to suffer. We have perceived suffering. We have seen it. We have modeled it. It's been around us. It's been taught to us. It's been accepted around us. And we have accepted it. We have embraced it. consciously, unconsciously, mostly unconsciously, and we don't know how to correct it. We're not given the tools or the information to correct it. Very few people have learned how to correct it in their lives, and therefore very few people are able to support. We do not have to suffer. We can change our circumstances. All circumstances can be changed. We get what we give. If we would like to change what we have, we would simply have to change what we're giving to our world. We would have to change our frequency to end our suffering, elevate our frequency to rise out of suffering. Look up, intend up, speak up, think up, take physical actions to up your energies, to raise up your frequency. Think about things that lift your spirit, that bring you into your spirit. Your spirit is your highest self, your highest frequency. Engage more often with your highest frequency to lift up your frequency. Think, speak about those things. Make choices and decisions that inspire, that bring you into your higher self. That is the way to end all suffering. Eventually, all suffering can end. Suffering is a choice. What is my financial, social, nourishing lifestyle? My lifestyle is coaching, helping people to make changes in their life. This is my financial structuring lifestyle. I have a wife and 3 children. I have a studio, an exercise studio. I do yoga here. I practice myself, and I coach people online that would like to change their health, their wellness, their well-being. People that would like to attract another mate, would like to first love themselves before they could love another. Loving themselves is the first step towards loving another. It is a great man who loves themselves. It is a great man who loves another. But it is the greatest man who loves themselves and loves another as themselves. In the process of learning to love yourself, you will learn how to love others. In the process of loving yourself, you will learn how to build love up inside of you so that you will have tons of love to give to others. The process of loving the self is first. However, unfortunately, the way life goes, we get caught in 2 relationships before we learn how to love the self. Blessings to the Pranic lifestyle, for this is the lesson of the Pranic lifestyle: how to love the self, how to be with the self, how to know and have a relationship with the self, how to express the self. This is the Pranic lifestyle. The Pranic lifestyle is the expression of self, the expression of self, life, force, energy, here, now, always in the present moment. Thank you.